Here it is, FinallyTV, back again with another episode of Voice of the Valley, episode 14. Very, very happy today. I am your host, Gabriel, and I have the pleasure of sitting with the Jemama podcast host. So, without further ado, let's introduce, starting on my right. Gentlemen, introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. I'm the J in Jemama. What it do?
What's going on? My name is Matt Santoro, DJ Tokes. I'm one of the Mas.
I'm the second Ma, Matt Marino. That's Jemama.
Alright, there we go. Gentlemen, thank you for coming to the show. I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast a little bit. You guys are having a lot of fun with that thing. So just off the bat, let's just tell the people exactly where they could hear this podcast in case they cut this thing off too early. Where can they go hear you guys?
We got a couple outlets. Apple Podcasts is our main one. We're also on Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app. And you can also see us or hear us on Spreaker.com. So those three outlets you can actually listen to us on.
Nice, very nice. Okay, cool. So make sure you're going and checking that out, party people. Good stuff, entertaining stuff. Definitely something you could leave on when you're cleaning up the house or doing the car up. Put that on, you'll get some laughs and all that good stuff. So Hudson Valley, a bubbling place, a fun place to be. But how did you guys end up here? We'll start on this side. Where you at and how'd you end up in the Hudson Valley?
Yeah, so not to talk for these guys too, but we all grew up together, We all grew up in the Hudson Valley. We all went to John Jay High School. We've been boys all our lives, so it's a pleasure to do a podcast with these guys. Right now, I'm actually living in Jersey, so I'm doing it remotely, but it's still great to get to talk to these guys every week, put something out.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I was born in Mount Vernon, New York. What up, Mount Vernon? Moved up here in the 90s. I've been here ever since. Obviously going away to college, stuff like that, but for the most part, I've been in the Hudson Valley most of my life. Still here, living in Beacon, New York.
Got it.
About that.
Yes, sir. Very good.
I moved here from Yonkers when I was about 4, so I've been up here for a minute. But recently moved out to Long Island.
Oh, okay.
So we have a little trifecta of different areas on this. But my parents still live here. I just was at their house today.
So, okay, there you go.
Yeah. There
you go. So let's talk about it, Jemama podcast. So why are you here today, Jeremy?
Yeah, we just want to come up and talk to you. Get us out a little bit more. We've had a lot of fun with it. We talk about some random things on it. We have some crazy discussions, but. Yeah, we're just trying to shed a little bit more light, get a little more people, getting into it, and see where it goes from there. Gotcha.
And then Matt, you're here for the same reason, but it's kind of double fold for you, right? Because you have your own thing on the side with BVC. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, BBC Music Entertainment. I started it back in 2010. Me and actually this man right here and another gentleman, Anthony Caputo, we started the business together back in 2010. When I was in college, I got into DJing. SUNY Delhi, what up, baby? Got involved in DJing there, did a radio station there. So when I got back from college, it was 2008. It was a little tough to find, jobs and stuff like that. And I figured, why don't I start my own business, make my own money? So I started the business. I'm still doing it today. If you ever want to contact me about a gig, bvcmusicenc@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, Matt Santoro or DJ Tokes. The DJing is something that I'm doing. But this right here, the podcast, this is the new passion. Me and these guys grew up together, and we've always decided that we wanted to do something like this someday. And we had a conversation one day, and we said, what, let's just try it. And right now we're having a lot of fun with it. So
Gotcha. And now Matt, you're here solely for the podcast. What made you say, guys, this is a good idea to come on here?
Yeah, so we were just legit talking one day. We were texting back and forth, and I think Jeremy, right? You actually mentioned, doing something, and I was like, I already have this app downloaded that'll record podcasts, so we were like, we'll just try it out.
Yeah.
And it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
And we felt pretty good about it. And in my point of view, what's better than being able to talk to two of your best friends every week?
Yeah.
So it was perfect. It worked out. I'm a huge podcast guy. I got my earphones in all day and listening to them. So to be able to do that with these guys is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. There's definitely a cool dynamic with the podcast in general. There's you guys are boys. You guys know each other. You'll point out little stories about each other. It seems like there's inside jokes, and then sometimes you'll elaborate, and sometimes you're you just wonder about what that's all about, and you move on to the next thing. I peeped that about you guys, and I kind of like that. So that kind of speaks to when you realized the passion was. So Matt, in the middle, when did you guys say, you know what, 100%, I want to be talking to people. I want people to hear what we got to say. When did that happen? When did you say, you know what, that's a good idea?
Well, like I said in the past, I did the DJing thing, I did the radio thing in college. I actually did work for Clear Channel Radio. It's out iHeart. And I've always been interested in the radio thing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that passion of mine has still with me, you know. So when it actually started from we watched the Complex sneaker shopping videos. Yeah. And this guy, you know, he's walking around, his job is basically to interview famous people about sneakers. Yeah. Like, this is the life, you know what I mean? You know, and Jeremy elaborated on that one day, and we were like, yo, like, we love sneakers, we love sports, we love music, like, why can't we talk about that and have people hear what we talk about? And we text each other like, every single day. Yeah. As you can see now, we live far apart from each other, so we're in contact with each other every single day, and we're having these conversations over text messages. Yeah. Sometimes they're hilarious, you know what I mean? So, like, we said to ourselves, why don't we take this next step and just see how it goes, you know, and like I said, he brought it up, he had the app ready to go, so we're like, let's go, let's record. Yeah. And we just never look back. That's
what's up. So, Jeremy, when did this all happen? When did you say, I think these two and me could put something together? When did that happen for you?
It was probably like half a year ago. It's just like, I was sitting at my desk and I just watched the sneaker complex shop and I'm like, man, this is like, we could do, like, why can't we do something like this? Mm-hmm. You know, anybody can kind of do it. It's just if you have the passion to do it. And like Santoro was saying, we talk about it all the time. So I was like, guys, let's just give it a shot and let's like really try to do it, because a lot of times you throw out ideas, but sometimes like they kind of get washed away. Sure. But, like, if we're gonna do it, let's like start tonight and see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt, you spoke about your BVC venture and DJ Topes, and that's all on the screen right now. I'm sure they're seeing all the names and where to go and all that good stuff. It's all around you, maybe even behind you, who knows? But with your BVC thing, when exactly did that go down? 2010, you said?
2010 is when we started the business. Okay. I started DJing in college around like 2006. Mm-hmm. You know, just playing around, DJing some frat parties and parties of my own, and you know, hosting some stuff with the radio station. So when I got back, you know, obviously, you know, to just DJ is not something you can do. You have to have venues to DJ. You have to have parties to go to DJ. Gotcha. So, you know, I said to myself, like, I knew a lot of people in high school. I know a lot of people from the area. Like, I have a lot of connections with people throughout the years. So I said to myself, you know, why not take the step and get my name out there and see if this will catch a little fire? Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, Marino and Anthony, they both have a passion for music as well. Mm-hmm. So we decided, you know what, let's buy the equipment, let's see if we can get ourselves in some small bars, and see how that goes. And, you know, there was a small period of time there where we were doing a lot of bars here in Hudson Valley. We were doing, you know, Last Chance, Whiskey Jack's, Irish Eyes, Hopo N, Monkey McGee's, like all around the little area. You know, like everyone likes to call me the celebrity local DJ. You know, and that's always been great, and I love the bar scene, whatever, but, you know, we wanted to do more. You know from your experiences, you know, doing the weddings and doing the special events, it has a little bit more meaning to it, and it comes with a little bit more money as well. So, you know, we decided that's something we want to do. So the three of us, you know, started it in 2010, and here we are 2008. It's still going, it's still doing gigs, and I enjoy it.
You took off 10 years, I love you, but it's 2018. I actually had the privilege of an impromptu hosting of one of your events.
Yes, you have.
You know, and that went pretty well. I had a lot of fun with that. I was expecting a phone call back to do another one, but it didn't go down like that.
Talk to my people.
All right, so Matt, aka Marino, we've heard a little bit of stuff about, you know, how this thing all got started and stuff. But why don't you tell the people exactly how far you've gone in materializing all this stuff and where these ideas have led?
Yeah, so I mean, when we first started out, we basically said to each other, we just want to talk about what we talk about. You know, we're talking every day, like you said. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about what we know. So we're talking about, you know, sneakers, music. Music's my jam. Like, I love music. I love old music. I love talking music. Yeah. And, you know, it gets weird every once in a while. We just did a few listener mailbag shows and everything where people were asking questions all over the map, you know, like, why do you wet your toothbrush? You know, like random stuff like that. Or, you know, and then once more serious, what do you feel about the super teams in the NBA? That was fun, you know, and it's just kind of a plethora of things. But I think the most important thing is you could tell that we're boys, you know, like we know each other. we have this camaraderie together, and it comes across hopefully on the air. You know, some of the best podcasts that I listen to are ones where you could tell that these people actually care about each other. They're having fun. They have inside jokes, and you become a part of that group. That's what we want. We want everyone to join us, be a part of Jemama. You know?
The other thing that's great about it is the fact that we grew up together. We have a lot of the same interests, but they're very different too. Like his music taste, my music taste, very different. Our sneaker tastes are different. Like our sports stuff is not as different, but there's some differences, and I think that makes it interesting too. That we don't always just agree with each other too, and there's a little bit of conflict sometimes there. Which makes it fun.
It does make it fun, because if we're all saying, I like the color blue. You like blue? Yeah. You like blue? Yeah. You like blue? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Blue it is, I guess. Let's go.
Like a lot of times, like we'll text each other, we'll go on Twitter or whatever and see new sneakers that drop, and I'll shoot it to them. I'll be like, "What do you guys think of this?" And I think they might like it, but they'll shoot them down all the time. I'm like, okay, well, I know. I still like them. I don't care. I'm gonna get them, but that's like the fun in it. Like I don't know exactly what they're gonna like, but I trust their feedback to it. So, it makes it interesting.
Gotcha. Jeremy, let's stay with you. So we talked a little bit, and I think the people listening can kind of glean where some of the inspiration came to do this. But where did the inspiration come for you to say, why can't we do this? Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look on YouTube, there's so many people that start their own channels or podcasts, and it seems like it's not super difficult to do. Obviously, it's difficult to keep getting people in and keep on top new topics and stuff like that. But we talk about things all the time. We talk about these same topics over and over again, and every single day it's like we come up with something new. So there's no reason why we can't do it on a larger scale. And obviously, the podcast is starting small, but it's kind of just throwing the net out there to see if anybody else has the same viewpoints we do, or if they're interested in the same things we are. That's the fun of it to me.
Gotcha. Would you guys share that sentiment, the two Matts?
Yeah, I share it.
Yeah.
But I also like the view of, you listen to a lot of these podcasts now since podcasts is growing, it's a lot of famous people talking. And it's great as if you love a celebrity and you want to follow their lives and their interests, that's great. And I do it too.
Sure.
But I like the perspective of the common man too. Like a bunch of guys that live the life. We're not able to just go get sneakers. We don't have all the connects.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we go through the grind, we're in the trenches, we're the everyday fans, we're the everyday listeners. And I think that perspective is interesting. It's not just about some guy who makes millions of dollars who wants to talk on the mic. It's three guys that all have a strong bond, that have the same interests, that we think that our opinions are followed by others.
Gotcha. Sentiments on that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Exactly what Santoro said. I mean, it's just nice to be able to talk to these guys and share that with other people. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who will agree with things we say, or disagree with things we say, but that's the best part of it, is just having the conversation, bring the conversation up. We disagree with each other all the time. That's what makes a good show, like you said.
Exactly.
We need a conflict.
Right, I love the Joe Budden podcast. I don't know if you guys watch that. You know what I mean? But
I'm Santoro's favorite person in the world.
Because he's so broken. Joe is so broken, and that's the point. You know what I mean? That's the point. But he's, like you guys, surrounded himself with close friends to do the podcast. So it works. It definitely works. And there's no reason why you guys can't get there. He might have the fame and all that stuff, but the content is not the same, but similar in the sense that it's interesting, it's engaging. I think that people listen to that podcast and your podcast and walk away talking about what you guys were talking about on their own. You know what I mean? So if you guys are talking about favorite songs of the summer, I think you'll get people, when they turn it off, they'll walk away like, I don't know, they didn't mention this song, and they'll talk about it, But that type of engagement will get them to come back and see what you're going to talk about next, and if they do agree with you or not. And sometimes people love to watch just to disagree with you. We have people watching FinallyTV just to say how bad it is, But we don't worry about them. But those same people are giving me views.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, hate away. You know what I mean? But I think I'm getting a lot more love than hate, and I think that's the same case with Joe and with your podcast. As it gains more momentum, people are going to say, what's up with Jemama podcast, And then maybe you'll be taking your podcast on the road and on a stage and just talking, to the people like that, So the possibilities are endless with what you guys are doing. So I just want to commend you guys on that stuff and having the drive to actually put it together. Like you were saying, we can talk about it all day, but let's just record one now so we have one. You know what I mean? And that was a very important step in doing what you're doing. So I commend you guys on that. So Jeremy, let's start on this side. This is going to kind of speak to your podcast a little bit, So we're going to talk about favorite activities and music and sports and all that. So when you're not recording, Jemama, and you're not, at work grinding away, what's a favorite activity for you?
Yeah, so for me, it's basically, I go through obsessions, right?
Okay.
Like I'm constantly all over the place. I've had my music obsession. It still, persists.
Sure.
Currently, right now, it's football. It's just, I live and breathe football, fantasy football. Like that's,
Yes.
I'm a full fantasy football nerd. Like
Gearing up, baby.
I'm extremely obsessed with tattoos and Ninja Warrior right now. I have all these visions of building a Ninja Warrior course back. It's probably never gonna happen, but like I picture myself doing it. I want head to toe tattoos. It probably is not gonna happen. It's expensive. But I picture myself doing it. So it's just like all these passions, and I think that's that's what we do. We talk about everything. You can talk about anything, but I think our main ones are sneakers. I'm always gonna love sneakers. We all grew up loving sneakers, and finally, like you have at least a little bit of funds to buy them. You can start flossing a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so Santoro, if you're not working, DJing someplace or at your 9-to-5 grind, what's your favorite activity to be doing?
Well, it's most of these three topics. I mean, I'm into music. I'm always trying to, find the artists that I really like and see if they're coming out with new material. I'm into sports. I'm big Knicks fan, Yankee fan, Giants fan. So I'm into that. Fantasy football is gearing up, so I'm now in the trenches of that.
Yeah.
I do play a little basketball on the side, play a little softball. I like to just kick it too. Spend time with my family and my friends and enjoy myself. But these interests are always around us, and as you can see, we're always talking about them. So it does take up a lot of my time, but in a good way, because so much in this world we're all worried about politics and the bull crap that goes on in this world. Like, Jemama podcast takes you away from that, and it takes me away from it on a daily basis. So to be able to share that with the world is a passion. So I just stick with the three main ones.
Yeah. So if you're not doing this, you're doing this. So Jeremy, let me ask you, same thing. If you're not working, you're not recording the podcast, what are you doing?
Well, I'm kicking with my son.
Oh, okay.
He's almost 2 years old.
Jack.
Yeah, he's
Shout
fun
out
to
to
chill with, yeah. Or I'm watching, I try sneaking some baseball when I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with the Yankees. I've loved them ever since I was born. So.
Let's go, Bronx Bombers.
Yeah, so sometimes it's easier than other times to watch those games, but
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah.
And music, I love music, so I'm always trying to scour. The new songs are out. I'm trying to give new artists a chance a little bit, but it's not that good. So I'm still trying to break through, or I go back. I try finally some new Earth, Wind and Fire songs. Like that,
There you go, soulful.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Let's talk about staying alive and energy. So, food. If I had to ask you, Jeremy, you can have one plate of food right now. You're starving, but you only have this one plate of food. What's it going to be?
It's going to be fried chicken, pork fried rice, and French fries.
There you go. Is it from the Chinese food store or like home?
It's from the Chinese food store. They do it all right, so I just get it all in one.
It works. Okay. So, Santoro, I know you're a little bit of a foodie. You got a brother who cooks pretty well.
It's actually funny. Yes, I do come from a family of fine dining, but I like Taco Bell. So
Finest.
That's gonna be your one plate of food.
that's my plate. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself some chalupas, some salt potatoes, nachos.
I like it.
Quesadilla.
Left side of the menu.
Left side of the menu. Jeremy, man, what you got for me?
That, but
Oh, I mean that. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna go with right now. What I want, I want some surf taco. It's a Jersey local thing, right? Get some nice burrito with some rice and some chicken in it.
Okay.
Ranch sauce on the side.
Okay.
Sounds good right now.
Yeah. I recently got put on to Chipotle. I didn't know that I liked it.
There it is.
It's good, man.
It's good.
You can do it like Puerto Rican style too. You can get like some rice and beans with some pork and kind of call it a day.
We found our first pork here. We now know why they have points. One guy goes to the other.
I love it.
I've been telling you, I'm like, there's people that live poor, and that's why it's there.
That's it, baby.
It's actually funny. We did Taco Bell versus Chipotle. It's one of the contests we do.
Oh, okay.
Versus.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the haters and stuff like that, and getting people's feedback.
Yep.
Whenever we do versus, I usually will put on my Facebook page and ask the question, do you like this or do you like that? And we get a ton of people who will respond to these things. And the passion behind Taco Bell and the passion behind Chipotle is great. There's followers.
They're like the fucking for each other too now in Fishkill, right? So
yes, yeah, straight competition.
So Matt, let's go back to you. And this question, I really like this question on Voice of the Valley, but tell me about a favorite place, whether you've traveled abroad, whether whatever you've done. What's a favorite place besides home? Because everybody's gonna say I like to be home. What's a favorite place for you in this world?
I'll give you two places actually, because I mean, I got married recently a few years ago, and went on my honeymoon. That was my first chance to go to like an all-inclusive and everything. It was nice. We went to St. Lucia. I mean, that was dope. But I'll also say, when I was in my junior year of college, I actually went and studied abroad at Oxford College in England.
Wow. Okay.
And that was just an eye-opening experience. It was awesome just to be in a different country, see a little bit of a different culture, being able to travel on the weekend, go to Italy and everything. I love traveling. I love seeing different cultures. It opens up your eyes. It gives you a new outlook on life. Yeah. And it keeps you going. So that was definitely an eye-opening experience. I'll say that.
Gotcha.
As well.
St. Lucia in England. Yeah. I used to work with a guy, Henry, from St. Lucia. And every day he would tell me how much better St. Lucia is than Puerto Rico. But we would argue all night long, I'm like, no. He's like, you don't know nothing, boy,
Puerto Rico's awesome.
Oh man, it's home. But so Santoro, let's see. What about you? What's a favorite place for you? Same content.
I'm not much of a traveler as these guys are. I would have left the country a small handful of times. I went to Aruba. I went to Barbados for my honeymoon. Both those places were absolutely beautiful. As much as I do like a beach atmosphere, I'm bad in the sun. So I actually like going to parks. I like being in parks. I think this nice atmosphere. The
Hudson Valley's great for parks, man.
And I'll shout out to Brett View Acres. maybe one of the smallest parks in the Hudson Valley, but where I grew up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Vacation spot, definitely.
So BVC stands for what?
It stands for Brett View Crew.
Okay.
A bunch of us grew up there playing sports there, hanging out there, hanging out in that neighborhood for many years. So, we gravitated towards that. So it's an ode to all my close friends that we grew up with in high school and college and now, but yeah, small park, but very quiet. It's a place to go to think. It's a place to go to kind of hang out. They have the fields. You can, bring your kids there. And play some sports. The basketball's a little messed up now, but I like parks. I like that environment.
I've always loved Bowden Park, man. That's always been one of my favorite places to go. Real quick before we go to Jeremy, the Jemama, Jemama. So the people are putting this all together. It's the first two letters of everybody's name here, right? And what's funny is we should have put Jeremy on this side because then it would have been Jemama. Right? So next time we'll do that. We'll have you guys back. So Jeremy, same question, man. What's the favorite place? It could be anywhere. Like he said, somewhere local. He went abroad. Where are you going?
Well, as a big Yankees fan, it's the Mecca. Yankee Stadium is like my favorite place to be. It's just the vibe when you get in there. Even just waiting in line, you feel the energy. If you go to a big game, like a World Series, it's on another level. So that place has always been my favorite place. Even when I was across the street, I love that place, that feel too. But the new stadium, it's awesome, and I love going there whenever I can.
Yeah, me and you could have a half-hour argument discussion about how much better the old Yankee Stadium was than the new one, though.
It broke my heart.
Championships there.
It broke my heart to shut that down.
It really did, it really did. A little side note is I knew a guy who supplied all the block for the new Yankee Stadium. All right, so he's still living off that check, But when he was privy to information about when they were taking down the old stadium, and this dude has 2 seats from the old stadium, man. That's crazy, man. You know, he's got an old brick from the old stadium, like, you know, so talking about like a shrine, you know what I mean? Like, so,
Hook me up.
yeah, you know. So let's stay on this side and just ask you, is there a pet peeve that, or a piece of advice that you live by that kind of keeps you on your straight and narrow path? Your own straight and narrow, because, you know, it's different for everybody, but that keeps you on your path. Is there a pet peeve that you keep in mind, or like a piece of advice?
Well, I don't know. Like I do have like kind of like a motto. I try like.
Okay, yeah, motto's good.
And it's everybody knows it, but it's like mind over matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, it don't matter. Like I use that anytime I'm in like a tough situation where it's maybe like even something stupid like a dentist. Like if you're getting like a filling or something like that, you got that needle all the way in the back of your mouth. It's just like that mental being like, listen, if you don't mind it, it don't matter. And like that, I've used that for a long time, get through like tough situations. So that's kind of what I build upon.
Okay, Santoro.
I actually have both. I have a pet peeve that I just recently have encountered again. Right? And that's full family Crocs. I was in the mall yesterday and I saw a whole family wearing Crocs, and I was mad.
He texts us about that.
I so mad I texted him. Yeah. Motto I live by is everything happens for a reason. I really truly believe that. I feel like, you know, everything leads to the next thing. If you're in a tough situation, it's supposed to build you up to be stronger. And I always try to have a positive mind frame no matter what I'm doing in life. And I always say to myself, especially in the hard times, everything happens for a reason. So I always hope that this is going to lead to something better.
Gotcha.
And it's helped me this far. So
yeah, stick with it. Yeah, stick with what works. Matt.
Yeah, I feel like I need a really good motto now. This guy's pet peeve. I'll give you a pet peeve first, though. It's definitely mouth noises.
Okay. Like people eating and stuff.
Yeah, like if you're eating loud, like a lot of loud saliva and stuff. No, I can't handle it. That's in Toro too. I can't handle the way this guy eats. Motto, I guess I would say, just try and stay centered. You know, try and never go too far one way and too far the other way. Just remain centered. Yeah, logical. Always think things out. It's hard to do, you know. Sometimes you get so caught up in the present moment, but you got to remember, like, hey, this is just this moment. I got a whole life ahead of me. Like, just stay centered. Think about the most important thing to do. Do it. So,
absolutely, I couldn't agree more with that. So you guys are what, 30-something episodes in? Did I see 33?
I think it's 33, yeah.
33 was the last one, right? The summer 5 or whatever it was, right? Yeah. So out of those 33 episodes, let's start on this side. Let's name your top 3 episodes.
Okay, all right.
So like if the people, if we're telling them go watch these episodes to fall in love with the show, what 3 are you telling them?
We've been trying to build episode types, right? So we have a My 5 where we discuss a certain subject and we all give our My 5 favorites of that subject. We also have verses, like we had said before, where we take Taco Bell and Chipotle and put them up against each other and argue it out, and whoever gets the 2 votes wins. So it's nice to have those episodes. I think my favorite genre episodes is absolutely Feeling It. I'm a music guy.
Okay.
So what we do with Feeling It is we each pick a song or 2. We go through them, explain why we like it, why we're feeling it. Doesn't have to be old, doesn't have to be new.
Right.
And we talk about it, and then they say whether they're feeling it or not too. Sometimes we don't, We don't tell each other that.
Gotcha.
Sometimes we do. We all love it. I love those episodes. And also, listener mailbag part 1. That was really exciting, just to get the feedback from the people we're making this for, giving us some questions, being able to answer. Yeah, it was like building everyone together, making it one big Jemama family. Yeah. Which is what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
So definitely that one. And I know Jeremy's going to say the other one I'm thinking of, so I'll let him take that when you ask him.
Okay, very good. So Santoro, favorite episode of yours, maybe a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with him where I kind of like the themes. The verses are real fun because we get to kind of go back and forth a little bit and say how we feel about something when we're not in agreement.
Right.
The Feeling It episodes are nice. You get to kind of broadcast your kind of music that you're into, especially in the right now, because anybody who truly likes music, you're going through stages. There's your R&B stages, there's your sad songs, your happy songs. Like, I like that we get to kind of show people the kind of music we're into. And my 5s, I mean, I like lists. We go through that all the time. I like ranking things and seeing where everybody feeling, especially when it comes to music or sports. I like to see what people's mind frames are at, so I have a lot of fun with those.
You got a favorite?
Feeling It or the
My 5s.
The My 5s. The MCs was the funnest because I really got to see their favorites and why. And I also got people to kind of see a little bit what I'm into. You know, I'm not into like some of the people that they're into, so it was kind of cool dynamic. The grab bags are fun too because you get to talk about multiple things, so those are always fun as well. But my favorite episode of all of it was probably the first verses that we did. We did Drew Hill versus 112, and then we did Usher versus Genuine. That was just a lot of fun going through those. So.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah, kind of piggyback what they were saying. There are the different genres that are fun. We kind of stepped outside one time. We did an underrated, overrated one, which is fun because like they brought in some random things. I said beer was overrated. Yeah. It is. And, but so that was a lot of fun. I'd like to do another one of those. And the hour 5 was really fun. We did the Knicks one. It was difficult to try to pin it down to the top 5 Knicks of all time, in our opinions. But I liked hearing what they had to say about it and trying to actually make a list because it's obviously it's a little difficult to make your own list. But if you're making your own 5 list, you know exactly what you want to put in there.
Sure.
But to take other people's opinions and mold something, I thought that was kind of fun.
Gotcha. That's definitely cool. I got to listen to a couple. I definitely like the mailbag one. You know, the one, was it you guys talking about doing the toothpaste on the... That was you guys, right? Yeah, I was like, that Joe Budden, you guys. See, that's how good you guys are. But yeah, I like that. And I definitely wet the toothbrush the whole way through.
Wow.
The beginning, when it's on there, go.
Want it wet.
You know, not using my saliva to get it wet, you know. But, so, you know, in closing with the interview, again, I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks
you know, you guys are awesome. I appreciate that. And hopefully, sooner than later, you'll be able to hear me on their show. You know, so that's coming soon. So let's give you guys an opportunity to talk about where to find you guys. Let's let maybe we'll let Marino talk about that for Jemama. Then maybe you get into your BBC stuff, and then maybe you could do both or Jemama, okay? So let's start on this side. Where can they find this thing? Where do you want people to go?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having us on, man.
You got it.
We appreciate it. Love what you're doing, too, you know? Like, you're supporting the community to bring out businesses within the Hudson Valley. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Much love.
Sure.
And yeah, you could find us, as Santoro said, we're on iTunes, like whether you got Apple, whether you got a Droid, doesn't matter. We're on Stitcher and we're on, you know, Apple Podcasts. So either way, find us there. Hit us up on any social media. Santoro's got his Instagram page. We got a Jemama Twitter.
Okay.
Jemama, it's just straight Jemama, right?
Yeah, Jemama podcast.
If you got any questions for a listener mailbag episode, we'll be doing more of those soon. Hit us up at Jemama2018@gmail.com.
Okay.
And we also, you know, follow all 3 of us on Facebook, and you know, we're always doing random stuff on there.
Gotcha. All right.
You know, once again, also thank you for having us. I really appreciate it. I don't think people realize right now we're in the early stages here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I wanted to come on here because I know your thing's gonna blow. I mean, this is what it's all about, promoting. You know, local celebrities, local hustlers out here trying to make a name for himself. Whether it's in the business world, the music world, I think this is great. So this is just the tip of the iceberg for hopefully us and you. So,
yeah, I hope so.
You know, keep on listening. And like I said, you know, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on YouTube as well. We're trying to build up the YouTube a little bit, but the Twitter's starting to build up a little bit too. So any of those platforms. But as far as Instagram, at DJ Tokes. And definitely with the mailbag questions, Jemama2018@gmail.com. Definitely check us out. And as far as DJ Tokes is concerned and BBC Music Entertainment, obviously on my at DJ Tokes on Instagram, on my Facebook, Matt Santoro, and also bbcmusicent@gmail.com if you have any questions about inquiries.
And you have a Facebook page for that.
Yes, I do.
Yep. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, just closing again, thank you.
Sure.
And go on Jemama Podcast, iTunes. We have all the past episodes too. So there's a nice little catalog for everybody to sift through. And we drop every Tuesday. So keep that on your radar.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, we just appreciate the positive feedback we receive from everybody and the negative. The negative makes you stronger. So
hit us up. Yeah. Keep the feedback coming.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think we hit everything. The only thing I'll say is some people just they don't realize what the capabilities of their phone, right? So everybody with the iPhone out there, you literally have an app on your phone that was there when you bought it,
Yes.
called Podcast.
Yes.
And under Podcast, you can go and search different podcasts that are out there,
Podcast.
and just type in Jemama, Jemama, and you'll be able to listen to every episode right there, or the most current ones, and it actually chronologically puts them there for you, so you have no excuse.
Right. Too easy.
You know, I don't know how it works on a Droid. Yeah, I don't know how it works on a Droid because I'm just an Apple guy now.
Stitcher.com, it's the same thing. It's an app for podcasts on Android. So
Okay.
Stitcher.com. And then if you don't have either one of those, you're working with a Cricket or something, just get yourself Spreaker.com.
Okay.
Now, every time we post our drops on our Facebook page, we always give you all the links that you can click.
Okay.
And then if you go to my Instagram page, you can just click the bio link, and all the episodes are right there too. So mad easy to do it.
Very good. All right, party people. I am Gabriel. They are Jemama podcast hosts. Go listen, subscribe to the channel. It's FinallyTV. Now I got it all set up. It's youtube.com/C/FinallyTV now, because we're big time with custom links now.
Yes,
subscribe. Go listen to the podcast. Send them some information. If you want something talked about, send the email. They'll be more than happy to talk about your topic. So, in closing, I am Gabriel. They are them. We are FinallyTV, Voice of the Valley, episode 14, and we out.
Mom, baby.